Hello everyone and welcome to my studio. My name is Elena Shvab and I'm a hat designer based in London. Welcome to my YouTube channel and to my hat making workshop tutorials. Today is a very special video tutorial because I'm welcoming you into my studio and into a private millinery hat class that I'm having with Laurel.
Thank you.
Welcome to my studio.
Thank you so much.
Laurel is my student who came to learn how to make hats and renew the knowledge of previous experience. And today I'm showing Laurel how to, we already blocked a hat a few days ago. Now it's all dry, and today I'm going to show Laurel how to take it off the hat block, how to first of all prepare the felt, how to work out these gaps here that we blocked and keep it quite tight together with the rope and the pins. And obviously when we remove the pins there will be a little bit of holes inside the signs of the pins that are holding the felt, and I'm going to show the technique how to make the surface smooth, nice, and how to get rid of any complications that happened during the blocking process. So we're going to start.
All right, so we're just going to pull the pins out.
So first of all, yes, we have, first of all, before we start, we have, so during the blocking process, what happened is that when we blocked and stretched the felt, we pressed it a lot. So it looks a bit too pressed. So we would like to steam it a little bit to help open up the fiber and make the surface look really nice and fluffy and smooth. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use a kettle to create some steam, and we're going to steam the surface and brush it with any hard brush that we can find. This one, for example, is nail brush, but it works great. And this one, for example, is a brush for shoes. It also will work great. So not necessarily all the tools that I'm using are bought from millinery supplies. Sometimes you can buy different tools anywhere, really, and they will work absolutely great. So we're gonna put the kettle on.
Great tip, Elena.
So working with the kettle, first of all, you open the lid, and it helps for the steam to come out. Once you close the lid, this kettle will automatically stop working. So we need the lid to keep open. One of the rules working with the kettle steam is that first of all we have to be careful not to burn our hands. So we would keep the material at least 50 centimeters above the kettle, and we'll be very careful about the direction of the felt. So I'm gonna show you how to start, and then we will continue.
So this is just to steam it a bit so we can fluff up the matted.
Yes, yes. So it looks much nicer here. And we do it before we take the pins out, because once the pins out, the felt might start deformating, and everything that was blocked might change the shape.
Right.
So it's best to keep it in place while the pins are still there. Ropes away, and I'm gonna steam a small section. Just steam. Whenever I steamed, I'm pressing with the brush and brushing the felt, and you can immediately see.
It makes a big difference.
Yes. The fiber opens up, and it just makes the surface look really, really nice. So you try, be careful with the steam. Just
working section by section?
Section by section, because when you steam the material, you have about 15-20 seconds while you just hold it a bit further up.
A little further up.
Yes.
More like there?
Yes.
Safer
Maybe
distance?
even more, just to protect
Okay.
your hands. Yes.
Oh, there we go.
So what I was trying to say that it takes about 15-20 seconds until the steam cools down, and then there's no effect anymore. So blocking or brushing has to happen while the felt is still warm. Don't rush, take the time.
Oh, yes.
There, you see the difference immediately.
Immediately.
Yes, it looks much nicer. It gives this really beautiful fluff of the felt. By the way, we're working with a wool felt, if anyone's wondering. But there's so many other felts in the market that you can find with the different lengths of the fiber.
And are we always working in the same direction?
Yes, it's best so that you always have one dynamic.
Okay.
So you don't end up with different brush strokes to the right, to the left, and up and down.
So carry around?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a bit heavy because it's on the hand block. But yeah, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's enough.
Enough? Or
Yes. Well, as long as you're happy, but maybe this section might need a little bit more. So it's also very much important to position the hand block so that steam goes directly on the section that we're about to steam.
okay.
And you see what I'm doing? My hands are right here, so they avoid the direction of the steam. There. And which direction? There. And I'm really pressing.
Okay.
So I'm not doing it in a gentle way. I'm really pressing.
We're not going to hurt it.
Absolutely not. No, just like that. There, you see?
Yeah.
So just a little bit more steaming and a little bit more pressing with the brush. And this is a metal brush. It's really effective for this technique.
Beautiful.
Okay, carry on.
All right. Let's see here. Do I move to the top as well, or?
Well, once you finish with the side, then you can finish with the top.
So keeping my hands.
Yes. So whatever you do, working with steam, you have to be protective over your hands because it's a really powerful steam, and it's gonna to avoid any complications, to avoid burning and hurting your skin.
Pressing.
As an alternative for the kettle, you can always use steam irons, but they have to be quite powerful ones. Or garment steamer also works great for this particular technique. I'm just used to the kettle because I use it all the time, but there are other tools that are available that might be much easier and safer to use, especially for beginners.
Okay.
Yes, perfect.
All right.
Yeah, it looks much better now, right?
Yeah, it looks much better. Maybe one more place.
Yes.
So.
Isn't it fun?
It's so fun. It's so satisfying.
better than a pet.
Indeed. You can also do this as a last touch when the hat is already finished, just slightly steaming it and giving it a brush, but also very much easier to do it on the hat block because you have the support of the wood underneath, so you can really press with the brush and iron it and brush it properly. So I think we need to just to brush the top of the hat, and then we're going to start taking the pins out.
There we go. Hard to keep your hands out of the way.
Yeah, just a little bit is enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
That's fine.
And just directions.
So for the top, might want to start from the center and just yes, and then it creates a really perfect circle there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So the first, you just twist the brush like this, and then you just go clockwise or against clockwise, depending what's your direction of the steam.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think it looks lovely.
Yeah, that really elevated it.
Yes, yes. So it looks fresh and freshen up.
Yeah, it does.
So what we do now, now we can remove the pins, and first of all, I'm going to remove the pins here. So we finished this area, and once we finished working here, then we can remove these pins, and then we can take the hat block completely from the hat from the hat block. Not the other way around. Okay, so if you help me.
Absolutely.
And we're just removing the pins. There. First you put so many pins in, then you take them out. And there.
Okay.
So I can already see that we have a lot of holes.
Oh, yes.
Because of the pins. So they are quite visible. Not everywhere, but still. So what we're going to do right now is to steam the felt once again and brush it properly. And just because I had a rope here, it did a good job, but it's not super even. So by steaming, I will sort of like reblock and reshape this part using my fingers as a blocking tools. So I'm going to show you the one section, and then you're going to do the other section. So maybe I'll try and show if it's maybe could be visible or not. You see the uneven sections that we want to smoothen and make them really looking nice. I'm not sure if you can see the holes of the pins, but they are there. And they're quite visible, so we'll brush them to get rid of the holes. I'm just gonna, that's what happens with the metal sometimes. Yeah. So again, careful with my hands, and I'm steaming just this area. So there. Hot. So while it's still hot, I'm pressing with my finger right here, pressing and holding, waiting while the material cools down. When it cools down, it settles. While it's still warm, it will tend to open up. And I can use brush.
Oh yeah.
There. And you see all the pins totally disappeared. Yeah, the signs of the pins have disappeared, and the line smoothened, and it looks straight. So if you can see, maybe, and if it's visible, and compare this section, which I just worked around, and this one is not there. Okay, so your turn.
All right. So probably 2 more sections or 1 more.
So yeah, try to work with one section
Once.
at a time, so you have more control and time to press and hold it with your fingers. Because if you're gonna move around and try to work out all the area, you might not have enough time.
Okay, great.
Because you know, the steam it cools down really fast, so you don't have enough time to do everything.
Concentrate on the area.
Yes, concentrate on the area. I think that might be enough.
Okay.
The steam of the kettle is very powerful, so it takes just a few seconds, and you can feel that
I can feel it
it's quite
moving.
hot and it's moving. It's flexible.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
I know. Working with felt is like working with clay.
Oh,
When
yeah.
it's warm, steamed, it's very flexible, so you can create different shapes and manipulate your fingers until the felt cools down, and then it settles in the shape, and then you can leave it, and it will just stay like that.
Oh, yeah. So once it's kind of cooled down, then I'll pop the brush on it. Okay.
You see all the pins, all the holes, they're gone.
Yeah.
So also that's the purpose of the brushing, because it helps for the fiber to move and relocate, and that helps to hide the holes.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful. So
Next
it's just one
section?
more little section left.
Concentrate on that.
That's just,
Feel the movement while
Yes.
it's warm. Oh yeah, feel free.
yeah, very
See
good.
how
And while it's still warm, brushing in, and there.
Gorgeous.
Now we have this very beautiful, neat decor, and it's smooth, and there are no sides of the pins. So what the rope helped to do before, while we were blocking, it helped to keep the material in place, because even if we stretch it and leave it without putting the rope and pinning, it will just cover the whole shape without leaving the gap, if it makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when we put the rope inside, it just keeps it there. All we have to do is just to smoothen it a little bit, and that's it.
Yeah.
So now, when we finish with that part and we're happy with it, now we can remove the pins here.
Okay, and it doesn't matter what order. We can just
No. It mattered the order when we were in the process of blocking, but it doesn't really matter
Great.
now. Because now the felt is settled. It's I just need the pliers.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah. So as a tip, it's best to use stainless steel pins so that there will be no signs of rust, because the blocking process includes a lot of steam, water, moisture, and that affects not the rust of the
Yeah.
pins. So best to use stainless steel.
Okay. I just need the pliers down in here.
It's just one stuck here.
Oh no. There. Last one. That's
Lovely.
everything. Great.
So that looks amazing. So now we have to take it off the head block. So that might be challenging because of the shape.
Because it comes in on itself.
Because of the angle. So if the angle was like this, it would be easier, but because it goes like that, it's going to be much harder to pull the felt and take it off. So I'm opening up a little bit here, and to be fair, what we can do is to trim these bits so it will be easier for us to take it off. So I'm using small scissors to make a little cut so it will be easier.
Yes.
And I'm trying not to cut going through this, just in case if I might need the whole piece of the fabric and I can use it for decoration. So I'm just, I mean, it's not necessary, but just if you decide to do.
You'll have more to work with if you don't cut through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I'm following the line here at the edge of the head block. So if you can see, yes, I'm gonna follow this line there all the way around. Okay. So having scissors, just
Great. And that leaves us enough to turn up a little bit.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Brilliant.
So maybe not just exactly where where we have the rope, but maybe give few millimeters towards the outside.
Great.
It's a really beautiful shape. It's one of my favorite. It doesn't really look glamorous on the hat block, but when you put it on, when it's already done, the hat, it looks really, really beautiful. It has this asymmetric shape that looks always flattering.
I could probably go a little bit closer, but
It's okay, we can always trim it. It's better to give
can't
it a
put
bit
it back.
more. Yeah, it's best to leave a little bit more rather than cut off too much, because we can always trim it after we take it off the head block.
we have some nice excess to work with.
Yes, yes, you can use it for the decorations later and for different trimmings.
Getting there.
Yes, that's good, very good. Yeah, don't rush, that's fine.
Would you like to take? You can feel free to take another go. Speed us along. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bit hard because it's hard to cut because we stiffen it really well, which is a good thing. There. So that's an amazing piece of felt that could be used for decorations later. So never throw anything away. And now I'm going to introduce my favorite tool. This is a corset bone, which is amazing because it's quite flexible. It's very thin, and it has this wonderful tip that is not too sharp. And just because it's so flexible, it's easy to go inside there in between the material and the head block, just in case if the material stuck somewhere or got attached to the head block or the cling film that I'm using. This will help to remove the head block.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kind
give it a
of
go.
breaks the seal a bit.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. You made it look so easy.
Well, well, it's apparently because it is stuck somewhere there. Yeah, it just needs some time, and but it's important to, if there are any areas where the felt stuck to the head block, to help to remove it before we take it off, because otherwise that's going to be like really challenging.
You can feel it loosen along and along.
Yes. Yeah, that's very good. Very good. And we're getting closer to the most important part of taking the felt off the head block and see how it turns out.
You can hear it.
Yes, I can hear the sliding of the cling film. Yeah, because that was a lot of glue, and then it was drying, so obviously it's got. And even though we didn't have to iron it like the straws, but it still got stuck there. That's very good.
Almost around.
Okay, so maybe just do this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just to pull it a bit.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think we did a good job now. And we're gonna try and... So the way we take it off the head block is I have to stretch a little bit here on top because I need more space for the material to be removed just because of this angle. So maybe I'll start with this because it's flatter. And so at the beginning it will seem like we're destroying the hat completely because I would have to overstretch it. But we will fix it. The felt has a memory of its own shape, so hopefully we'll manage. So just going in my hand underneath the felt, and
It's nice and tight.
yes, well, sometimes it takes a bit, but
There
you
we
hear
go.
that
Yeah.
that sound. It's getting there. It's like I'm just going to destroy it terribly. You want to try?
Oh, okay.
Come on. You have to experience it as well.
Let's see. It does feel like you're gonna mess it up.
Yes, yes. It has this feeling like, oh my God, it took so long to block it and stiffen it and wait until it dry, and then all the brushing and steaming, especially if it's a brim hat, so it's much more work done. And then you're trying to remove it. So, oh no, I'm gonna destroy it.
Let's see.
But it's okay. And it's also all the process of learning. It's okay to destroy a hat or two until you learn how to do it properly.
I'm starting to feel a little bit of movement.
That's good. That means that we're getting there. There. Help with the other hand also to
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
remove because it's stuck.
Ah, I was scared to do that.
Well, there's nothing to be scared of. I'm pretty much sure the felt is much more scared than you are. It's like, what are you doing to me? Leave me alone. We might need to help take it with the tip because it might be stuck there.
Yeah. Could we slip this back up in there?
We can try, but I think I have it.
Okay, great.
Just needs to. You know what? I love my rings very much, but sometimes it's just simply on the way. And
Ah, moment of truth.
and now quickly, quickly, putting it back there. And you see, it has the memory. It sort of like
Yeah.
went back into its own shape, even though it was stretched to the really.
Yeah.
And there you see, there's a little bit, teeny tiny of the glue you can see here on top. That this place that might have caused the problems. Well, nice.
This was the big offender.
Yeah. That's the head block. Yeah, the original one. So what we have to do now is for this particular shape, I don't think I want to put any wire or anything inside. To be fair, I quite like it to be soft, but if you feel like you need some support, you can always stitch the wire inside. And the only thing we have to do is simply trim the edge so it's nice and straight, and then stitch the petition ribbon, and that's it. You want to try it out?
Oh, absolutely. And how do you know which way is the back?
Well, just look at me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
There.
Nice.
You see, it's such a beautiful asymmetric shape, and it's perfect for any face type. Because of its shape. And on the side there's, if you turn your head, there you can see this decoration, and you can trim it, you can put a brush somewhere, or just make some decorations go around the shape, or just leave it as it is, which is absolutely stunning.
It's very comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. And I like because it's soft, so it's not
Yeah.
going to cause any headaches or any troubles. It's not going to be too hard to wear. So yes, I would keep it as it is.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope it was useful. And you're welcome to watch my other videos about trimming the felt hats and how to make felt decorations and much, much more. And thank you so much, Laurel, for being part of this online video class, and for coming to my studio. And I hope you learned a lot as well. And I just want to show this beautiful, gorgeous hat that we made today. So this is a straw hat. It's really beautiful. And we blocked it as one piece and stitched the wire and trimmed it. And we're in the process of stitching the Petersham ribbon. So if you can see inside the Petersham ribbon, just the one that we have to stitch here as well. And yeah, it's a beautiful hat, so well done.
Oh, no, thank you. Well, it's all in the teaching. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, thank you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.